Hi everyone, I'm Sergio Day Trader, and this is a weekly overview video of the S&P 500. Today is October 1st, 2023, and we're just wrapping up a very bearish month. As discussed in my last video, this was expected. We had planned for this, so hopefully many of you were on the right side of the market and were able to cash in on some of these crazy moves to the downside. I'm excited to see what October brings forward. Um, Excited to put this video out. It's been a little over a month since my last video. I was only able to put one out last month. Um, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. We will be discussing last week's action, um, some uh, some of the recent action leading into the Globex Open, some news items, as well as some things to look forward to for this week, as well as the rest of the month. So let's go ahead and get into it. So just a quick debrief of last week's action. We had a high of 43.83 and a low of 42.77. We had a range of 106 points, give or take. Our weekly POC is at 43.23. And we can see here that the last week's profile has a double distribution. I went ahead and marked off 43.35 as the LVN and a possible trigger for entry on a double distribution fade. If that does happen to present itself next week. Not much information regarding that type of play though, since I would like to see how the overnight shapes up. Last week was a pretty volatile month. Presented pretty good opportunities for both buyers and sellers, but mostly sellers if you were able to take advantage of those retracements. We had a steady upward trend, or a steady continuation of our upward trend in the VIX for the month of September. Last week we were trading around 16, 17. So if the trend continues, we could see similar action in October. Um, and we could possibly trade 43s and test the high 42s. We do have a major zone at 4220 and 4200, as those were benchmarks for 2022 and the beginning of 2023. Um, Regarding last week though, we were trading around this bracket low. This bracket was a major reference point for myself. This was something that presented itself earlier this past summer, and last month we saw the market trading around this bracket high. I was preparing for a break in the high and to trade these 4400s. It was a great play. I hope that many of you were able to take advantage of it. We saw a coast to coast type of run to the bracket low over at 43.65. Last week we did trade near the bracket low. We tried to get back into the bracket, but was only met with rejection. Um, and Yeah, I think 43.65 is a great reference zone or reference price, which will let us know if buyers are stepping in um, amidst the cleared up government shutdown rumors, or if there is a continuation to be expected for this price discovery to the downside. So definitely keeping an eye out on 43.65, but definitely not counting out this bearish intermediate trend continuing on for the rest for the month of October. Before I move on to next week's news events and fundamentals, I did just want to bring up this monthly chart. I think it will provide a bit more context as to some of the things I was saying during the weekly debrief. Here you can see I have a range marked up between 44.57 and 43.23. I also have a neckline to a head and shoulders that was forming throughout the summer. We saw a clean break of the neckline. We also did see buyers try to step in and hold the line and try to maybe bounce back. But sellers pressure was just overwhelming and just too much for the bulls. So we saw a rejection at this 43.70 price. We did open extremely high and out of range on Friday, but again, sellers stepped in, took control of the market, and drove this price down. We are trading near 43.23. This is the range low. So anything below this, we can expect, buyers to try to step in and take this above. But ultimately, if pressure from the sellers continues to be too much, we could possibly trade this 42.20 level. This 42.20 level for me personally is a change in regime type of zone. This will essentially confirm a different type of participant in the market, or have already seen this market participant step in, and we're just seeing the strength that is being cast over the market. Anything below 42.20, it's hard to be bullish, to be honest. So this is kind of I think October will be a last effort, possible opportunity for bulls to take this back up into the 4400s, and try to reclaim some of these highs. It's going to be a very difficult task to accomplish. Just seeing how last week played out, and it'd be very hard to kind of reclaim last month's value area. So still a lot of pieces of information are needed to, for me personally, are needed to either side with the Bulls or side with the Bears. I am leaning more towards the Bears side, but anything can change. October could provide a lot of opportunities and a change of direction, especially with government, no longer being under threat of shutting down, and a couple maybe fundamentals that are being released later this month. So I think October is going to be a very difficult month to determine which side would be most beneficial to be on. But nonetheless, we're here to change at a blink of an eye. So the goal here is not to be overcommitted to a certain direction. All right. So just gonna go over some fundamentals and new news announcements coming out this week. Starting with tomorrow, Monday, October 2nd, we have ISM manufacturing PMI. That's at 7 a.m. We have Daddy Powell speaking at 8 a.m. Quite a few Fed speakers actually. Okay. Probably won't be trading tomorrow morning. Yeah, gonna be kind of tricky. Especially when he's speaking an hour and a half after market open. Tuesday we have JOLTS job opening. Couple other Fed speakers. Kind of a quiet day on Tuesday. Wednesday, we have some mortgage, S&P composite, some oil announcements, ISM services PMI at 7 a.m. That always tends to be a big catalyst. More federal speakers, more Fed speakers on Wednesday. I'm not too concerned about the speakers that come after Powell, as they'll likely just be echo chambering everything that he said. Thursday, We have exports, imports, initial jobless claims, treasury bill auctions, a couple other Fed speakers. And then Friday we have unemployment rate, NFP, a couple other Fed speakers. Okay. Not too crazy of a week when it comes to fundamentals, but definitely just keep an eye out for Powell tomorrow morning. And then I believe on the 11th, yes, on the 11th we have PPI and FMOC, so uh, that will be quite a doozy of a day. So yeah, kind of a quiet week, but like I just said, just keep an eye out for the Fed speakers. I definitely won't be trading tomorrow morning. Maybe start my trading week off on Tuesday. Um, I'm coming off a last week. I did only just trade one day, and I ended the week with just under 10 points. Um, yeah, it was just one day worth of trading. Started I started kind of in the red and had to bounce back, fight my way back up to it being a profitable day. So next week I will be looking to trade maybe Tuesday through Friday. Just keeping an eye out for those for the federal speakers and anything that they might be alluding to in regards to FMOC. I know some um we're expecting a these interest rates to stay for longer period of time. I think many investors would have already imagined or hoped for interest rates to start getting cut, but I think after some of the past um, announcements, the Federal Reserve is definitely looking to keep these interest rates um, this high for a longer period of time. So something might change tomorrow after these speeches. So definitely worth keeping an eye out. All right, and on to our last section of the video. We will be discussing, or I'll be discussing some things that I will personally be looking forward to for this upcoming week as far as intraday goes. So just starting here off with a daily chart here. Just kind of on the same narrative as my weekly and monthlies. I have pretty much everything broken down into just ranges and brackets. So as mentioned, we have broken the low extreme of the bracket. This was another range that I was eyeing the uh, for the majority of 2023. To be honest with you, these this high goes back to 2022. So a lot of these prices have been historically relevant, and these lows and other triggers that you might see here have been just drawn up to keep as reference. So and you see here regime change, which as I mentioned earlier is just a way of me confirming and understanding a understanding that a different participant has been involved or is stepping in. So it's definitely something that I'm going to be using in my analysis, especially for the month of October if we see that price keeps on its trend downward. So I will be looking for possible retest of this 4270. We did set that low in last week, so it's worth seeing if we will if we'll test this either this week or later on this month. We also interested in seeing if we can trade above this trigger that I have here at 43.20. Ideally, bulls would like to hold this line and try to win the battle going back up to 4400s into the range that we're previously in, at least for a test of the low extreme. If not, then I think sellers will pounce on the opportunity, and um, I I already think that sellers smell blood in the water, so I think they're just going to continue stepping in and continue to be overwhelming. But as I mentioned plenty of times already in this video, the idea is to be able to change direction in a blink of an eye and not stay overcommitted to a certain side. So willing to play both sides, but I don't want to get caught in a bull trap, as that could very well be the case. So yeah, just keep some of the prices that I'm keeping an eye out for are 42.70, 43.20, and 44.20. So there's obviously a big gap in the 43.20 and the 44.20. Obviously 100 points there, but just want to remind you that we just did have a 100-point week. So anything is possible, especially when we have the VIX trending upwards. Another thing that I wanted to show is my VWAPs. The one that is catching my eye here is the yearly, which is on the rightmost side here. You can't see my cursor. There we go. Okay, I'm not sure why you can't see my cursor, but you can see my crosshairs. So this is the yearly. Now, the month of October saw us get back into this value area. We did we did test the VWAP here at 43.07. So this is another great reference to use in the case of both a bull and a bear bias. We could get the bounce up from VWAP or continue to test continue to trade downward. Sorry, got my tongue all twisted up. So I was saying this is a good reference point to see a bounce from the VWAP, or if we're going to continue trading downwards, we could see a possible price discovery to the other side of value, which lies at 41.25. Now I know that sounds crazy, but we have to understand that when it comes to value, anything is possible, especially if we've, this especially over the summer, the market was able to rip and go high and attract buyers and create a sense of greed and euphoria, and then just completely wiped everything away this past month. Not all of it, but most of it. So seeing something similar to the downside is a very real possibility. But it also, for the long-term player, or for the short-term player, it could provide a great opportunity to to place a bet and see if get in a good place before a possible Santa rally. That's also right around the corner. So yeah, I don't want to count anything out. I've made that error before. Now with a little bit more experience that I have under my belt, I don't think 41.25 is such a crazy thing to predict. I mean, seeing that our weeklies are down, our monthlies are down, our quarters are down. We are going to be starting a new quarter, so you know, seeing if maybe we can, I'll bring up the quarter chart here. So we will be opening up in the previous quarter's value area low. Um, this, um, we can either accept this value area low, chop here for a couple months, or trade back into this value area, and you know, get ready for 2024. And obviously, in 2024 we have presidential elections, but that's way down the road, and I don't want to complicate this video with that type of nonsense. But yeah, I guess I'm just saying that to say this, that anything is possible in this market, seeing that we had just such a euphoric summer. We could have a very cold winter. So definitely going to, stay on my toes. I think that's probably the theme of this video, is just to show that, or explain that, we have to stay nimble. We have to stay open to any and every opportunity, as well as any and every situation that might happen. So, um, I'm not going to blabber on too much longer. I know I didn't really give a solid breakdown for this week's ideas. I The Globex hasn't opened yet, so ideally this video should have been recorded after Globex opened, but I figured I had some time, so I just got it knocked out. But yeah, I will let me list those triggers again, just so we're all aligned. So I will be keeping an eye out for 4230, 4270, 4320, and 4420. These are prices that I will be referencing and will be looking um, to anchor myself in any type of fade or break of these zones. So just wanted to share this once again, just so everyone knows what I'm looking for, and we can come back next week and reflect and see how these how the situation, how the weekly situation played out. So yeah, as I said, I'm not gonna blabber on too much longer. We do have a Niner game coming up, so let's get this fourth dub in a row. I hope everyone has a good rest of your Sunday, a good rest of your weekend, good start to your week. So yeah, let me know how you guys are doing. Let me know how last week was. Feel free to drop any feedback on this video in the comment section. I'm open to it all. And yeah, you guys have a good one, and I will catch you next week. Bye bye.